I press the button to go live, and then eventually it goes live. Bernard says something and goofs me up, and we never get a clean start, you know? What's up, Profitable Stylist? Here we go. I am with Tracey from salontraining.com. It's going to be Tracey and I today. Bernard forgot that he had a flight to catch, so he is on his way to the airport. Bernard, if you're watching this, buddy, have a good trip, and we'll see you next week when you get back. Good morning, Tracey. Thank you for being with us today.
Good morning. Thank you so much for having me on your show.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be fun. So you are from salontraining.com,
Yes.
and tell our audience a little bit, what is salontraining.com?
So it's a beauty industry directory for professionals and students coming into the field to look for educators, look for classes, jobs. It's an all-in-one directory for everything that we need. And I've been in the industry for 20 years, and these are the things I know I needed, my team needed, and my friends needed. So if you're looking for a trainer, say someone to help you with cutting or coloring or even accounting, you can go into our website, go under trainers, and just type in your category. And then the cool thing is you can see everything that they offer. Like they'll put their package in there with their emails, sometimes their phone numbers, their website, their social media links, and you can read about them, watch a video about them. It's kind of cool. And then classes, if you're looking for an in-person class, which I know many of us are looking for in-person classes now. We've all been stuck behind this camera. So you can look for that even by typing in your zip code or the state or the city you're looking for and see if there's anything coming up in your area, as well as still pre-recorded and also virtual. If you're looking for a job or if you're a salon owner that is hiring, you can go in and post your job listings there. And also shows, products, marketplace. It has a whole bunch of really cool things.
So is that
Just
on
a
a national level, or are you guys localized to a central area?
Most of it is in the United States right now and Canada. We will be reaching out, and there is a few
Oh,
other, like we
cool.
have some people in the UK as well. Now, this only, Model 2 only happened a few months ago. So whenever you go there and you say, hey, you're typing in this, and you might see only two classes in your category right now, don't worry. I mean, this is every week we seem to get in new people with new classes and new trainer listings and new job listings and stuff like that. So this is an ongoing, growing thing. And if you're out there listening and if you're a trainer in the beauty industry and you want to get your message out, jump on. It's very, very simple to do. We were just talking about hairdressers and sometimes our typing skills and different things. We need it easy. We are very visual people. And so whenever we did the website, it was funny. I was going back and forth with some of the web designers. I'm like, nope, we got to simplify this because, and that's not a negative thing. I don't know. Myself, I like something to go on simple. I hate looking for a million different things and just make it simple. And that's what the website is. It says classes, add your class. And you just follow it in. Class name, class title, description.
Yeah, I love that it's a very straightforward format, and it is really cool that it's a one-stop shop. You can get everything you need, because it's such a lost thing when you come out of beauty school, or even if you've been a stylist in the industry for a while. It just, where do you go other than your local distributor? Where do you go? And if there isn't a show coming into town, then what do you do? So it's really interesting. One of the things that is coming up in April is the let me say, I'm saying this the right way, Pennsylvania Beauty Expo.
Yes, we just
Okay.
call it the Pennsylvania Hair Show by this point because we all used to call it hair shows. And yes, there's nails and everything else, but yep, the Pennsylvania Beauty Pros Expo. It's happening Monday and Tuesday, just so everybody's clear on the dates. Monday and Tuesday, April 24th and 25th. It's at Seven Springs Mountain Resort in Champion, Pennsylvania. It's a really beautiful, beautiful ski resort.
Oh, wow. Okay. So what do you guys got, like the convention area of it?
Yeah, so they they used to have this show. We can get into that in a minute, but they used to have this show back in. I remember going back there in 1993. I think was my very first hair show, and I was hooked. I walked into this class and I sat there and I said, "Oh my goodness!" I'm looking around as a young person getting into the career, and I said, "Yep, this is exactly where I need to be." I just felt at home at that place in the hair show. So, being that we wanted it to come back to this particular area because that show hasn't been there in, I believe, almost 20 years. We don't have the exact date of when they don't have it anymore, when they stopped having it, but it needs to come back to Western Pennsylvania. So yes, they used to have beautiful shows there, and that's what we're doing too. So there's
You know, It's one of the most amazing things. The shutdown happened, and people are tired of listening to me. I'm like, this is such a crap thing that happened, and a lot of people agree that it was a crap thing that happened. One of the good things that have come out, to stay on the positive side of things of it, right? Since we've been back from the shutdown, I mean, it has been full steam ahead. And everybody has been demanding in salon education, in-person education, just getting together. Everybody wants to get together. And it is really awesome to, especially this year in particular, the amount of live in-person shows that are happening has been phenomenal. So to see that you guys in Pennsylvania over there are going to be putting on a show, that is awesome. 20 years.
Yes. I just spoke to a lady today. She's a hairdresser. She owns a salon about an hour or so from me. And she said, "Oh, I'm so glad that this is coming back. I just heard about it. Can I get tickets? Da, da, da." Said it hasn't been there for so long, and I'm going to bring my daughter because she's in the field, into school, and I'm going to bring this person and this person. And she said, "I really like to actually start going and having more in-salon classes, just exactly what you said in my salon." She said, I miss it. And she said, "I wish other salons would do it." And we talked about it. I'm like, yes, we should all just partner up and just host a salon every month in somewhere, because you're right. We need in-person classes again.
So now, I mean, what an undertaking, right? You got to put that whole thing together. And it's literally from scratch. There is no copy paste from so much has changed. So what goes into, for somebody that's going to be attending the show, like how it, I mean, it's going to be freaking exciting, but what are some of the things that somebody can look forward to when they're attending the show?
Well, yes, it does have a lot to go into it. And I appreciate everybody's effort to help with this, as far as saying, yes, I'm supporting it. What can I help you with? That kind of stuff, which is awesome. What was your question? I know I kind of got off track there.
Squirrel. This is why websites have to be simple, because we're hairdressers. Squirrel moments.
Yes, I'm like, wait a second. Yes, absolutely.
No. So okay, so now this is this is the first time the show is coming up in such a long time. So you've had to develop the whole show from scratch, basically. So what are some of the things, like if somebody doesn't have a reference because they haven't been to the show in particular in 20 years, like what is some of the things that they can be excited to look forward to coming to see?
Okay, there's two main stages. One is all technical, that have brilliant people on it, such as Paul Mitchell's teaching new color techniques and different things like that. Joico has been amazing. They're teaching different classes, and so on and so on. And I know you guys, OnStage Hair Extensions is also going to be on our technical, which is so super cool. The Wilsons, you name it. And then there is also a business one. We have so many brilliant business classes at this show that, when I say business, yes, it's great for salon owners, managers, leaders, that kind of thing. But also, I've always been a firm believer of, we're very commission based in our area, probably more than so other places, just because we don't have a lot of booth rent, and we don't have booth renting and different things in Pennsylvania. But I always think, if you're behind the chair and you're a stylist, you are still that owner behind the chair. Whether you actually own the keys to that building, you are an owner of your own business inside someone else's business. So even those business classes can definitely benefit anybody in the salon industry. So, I mean, we have Inspiring Champions on stage, which, if you have not seen her, Lauren Gartland, you know her, right? She's on fire. That's why they call her the firecracker. She's probably one of the best industry trainers that I've ever, in my 20, 30 years of being in the industry, have got to witness. I'm so excited that she's on main stage as well. And I can name everybody, and I don't want to leave anybody out, but like even Terry Cowan, they are great too. She's one of our main speakers during that too. But yes, the two main stages, and then there's 100 classes at this show, which is incredible.
So over the 2 days, or that's all in the same day?
Over the 2 days. So there are
so it's like 50 classes a day, basically.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Wow.
So if you took even 6 classes, we were doing the math the other day on this, and if you were just 6 classes in a day, I mean, you're paying like $13 or something for a class. Some of these trainers they're like $5,000 to sit in their class, $3,000, $2,000, and you're going to be sitting in their class for like $13 because the tickets are only $79, and that will end at the beginning of April. We actually extended it a little bit because there's so many people getting tickets, and they're like, I just found out about it, and my heart goes out to everybody too, because I'm like, I want so many people to attend this show, because if they do this year, then we have the chance of keeping Pennsylvania on the map for years to come. So it's everybody, I think's responsibility to share it with other people and tag their friends and all that kind of stuff.
Wait,
The
help me
other,
clarify. So it's $79 for the ticket for the, and that's a 2-day pass.
yes, yeah. So
And what's the education cost?
that's everything's included.
So $79 to get into the show. Education, do you just walk into whatever, you attend whatever class you want?
Yep. You can go
Wow.
to, yeah. And so from Monday, it's from 9 to 6, and there is an hour and a half, hour or so lunch break, just so that everybody can be on the same page on Monday. They don't have to rush and think about. They can actually enjoy an hour lunch, which I don't think any of us get an hour lunch. I think
No,
10
we,
minutes.
we don't even get a 5-minute bathroom break. Forget about lunch.
I know. I used to say it all the time. I said I have. We all hold our bladders like insane.
I remember there was, okay, now I constantly have been dating myself the past couple of months, but I've been in the industry for, I grew up in the industry. So I remember while the client was being shampooed, and then you got another client processing, and I just remember my aunt and everybody else running outside into the back door, puffing a couple of cigarettes, and then doing one of these as they're walking back in to get back to their client. Forget about lunchtime and bathroom. Oh my God. So that is so wild. That is
We are
so
definitely
wild.
fast peers, fast eaters, and fast smokers. Oh, no,
But
so
I am
funny.
blown away. So $79, 2 days, you get all the education, you get to see. That is the coolest thing that I have noticed with these hair shows, because we're doing Chicago the week before Pennsylvania
Oh
show.
yeah. Mhm.
So it's the amount of education that's becoming available at the shows. I am so excited this year to be attending and participating to do shows, because for so many years it got away from education. And just the amount of attention to detail on the amount of education that's being offered. 100 classes in 2 days, phenomenal to me. That is outstanding. Plus, that's the other cool thing. You said 2 main stages.
Mhm.
One dedicated to business, one dedicated to the technical. Usually it's just one main stage, and it's a bunch of fun, inspiring, futuristic stuff that they're showing. So it's like showing off trends. But you guys are doing it. So when you say technical, like it's just every manufacturer or whoever manufacturer that's going to be on stage showing off a particular techniques that they're doing.
Yeah, it's basically it's the same similar concept as a classroom, but at a much bigger scale, because I mean there's more room, there's more seating, and they're the top. I mean the people on the main stage, everybody is brilliant, whether in the classroom or that. I mean we brought in some really great ones, but main stage just gives you a little bit more of the bells and whistles, I guess, because you get to see a little bit more like kind of showy type of things as well, I guess, too. And then speaking of shows, whenever you had asked like what else was involved in the show, there's always a really cool VIP party sometimes after these shows, and we want to invite everybody to. So the VIP, there's VIP tickets, $55, that gets you lunch, which is a buffet style lunch for people that purchase that ahead of time on Monday. That way you're not waiting in line. You can just hurry up, grab your food. There's also during that there's a school, Paul Mitchell. There's two of them. They're coming together, but they're doing a really cool with the students. For anybody that's out there, if you ever got to go to the gathering or anything, they put on this real cool production and stuff, and that's what they're kind of doing on our stage as far as the students, because students coming into the industry have some really incredible like makeup skills, and we just want to see that. And then also Two Blondes Apparel is doing a runway really cool fashion show, and I know so many people that have bought their stuff, and she has so much cool salon gear, so salon purses and shoes and all kinds of stuff. I'm not going to give away the secrets because you have to watch it. And then in the evening we'll do a VIP cocktail party, which has a DJ and photo booth and all kinds of really cool stuff. It's a great network.
So you're saying during the day at the show, there's an additional event happening for the VIP members?
It's lunch, and it just gets you. I don't want to say it's a huge thing, because it is lunch. We want you to relax. We don't want a lot of education during that. It's just a fun place for you to network and stuff, and just a quicker lunch that you can get. Like it's a salad, soup, salad bar, sandwich, that kind of thing, and then you get to see a couple little things on stage in the VIP room. And then, like I said, that's $55. That includes Monday and your ticket to the event on Monday night. And then if you aren't doing that package, you can still purchase tickets at the door. And we are working on that, because we are looking like we might need a bigger room for that. So I'm not going to say the price just yet, because there's a lot of people that are starting to buy that package too. So
that's awesome. That's super awesome. So then, and then the nighttime event is the first night.
Yes, Monday night.
Monday night.
Yes.
Okay.
So the class is the show is 9 to 6. And then the vendor floor will stay open a little bit longer. And then after that is the party. I believe I should know this because it's what I'm doing. But
the party is whenever everybody shows up. I mean, the party's just all day, really.
Yeah. I think it starts at 7:30 to 9:30 or something like that. And then Tuesday it's 9 to 4 for the actual class. And we're not taking a break for lunch. There's a half-hour spots you can go in, of course, and get something.
Okay. All right. So then, oh man, there is so much to unpack. How are you holding up with all of this preparation?
I'm just gonna breathe every time someone asks me that, because it is good. I am so excited for this region. You have no idea. I have been wanting this to come back, and so many people have. So I just am thankful, even though there's days that I just want to just rip everything up and say, but overall, that is minor compared to the feeling of how excited that I am and everybody else is that's bringing the show back. So.
All right. Oh, I mean, it's the more I'm hearing it, because I know I'm gonna come in, right, and I know we're gonna have our booth and we're gonna set up, but this is gonna be my first time doing this show with you guys, you know, and it's fun to me because I've done, you know, every show that we attend to do is always a different layout. And I get so mixed up between this layout and that layout, you know? So this one being at the resort, this is going to be my first time. Well, you know, this is going to be our first time being at this resort by you guys putting on this show. So how is it laid out? Is there a way you can kind of paint that picture where when people walk in, it's the vendor booths, or when they first walk in, like how does that look like?
There's two different, we'll just start with registration. When you come in, there's two different registrations depending on what area of the building that you come in. Of course, we have gift bags and stuff that was sponsored by Joico, and there are other people putting stuff in the bags too. Whenever you do that, then you can go in and you'll get your brochure of all the times. You'll be able to print that out here real soon too, so that you can look at it ahead of time, of course. Then once you go in, as soon as you, I guess the main registration where it is, if you go off to the right, that is the vendor floor. Through the vendor floor is all of the main stage business. So people that are taking the business classes definitely will be going through the vendor area quite often. And then right from the registration again is the VIP area and stuff for lunch. And then just down a couple of steps is all the different classrooms. And then 3 more steps is all the different classrooms. So it's really nice. I love big shows. Don't get me wrong. I love New York. I love Chicago. I love traveling. I love those because there's so many cool vendors to see and so many different classes. But the one thing I'm like, oh, you're traveling with your high heels and your bags and you're going up and down, and which is good because I get my steps in. So, but this one, ladies, you can wear your heels if you want to, because it's only like a couple. No, I don't recommend it. I do not recommend wearing heels at hair shows. Be comfortable, look fashionable, but look comfortable so that you can walk all day.
Well, I always tell everybody at the Chicago show, like, you better bring your sneakers, and then you change into your heels once you get to the booth. You know, when it's other shows that see. So, you know, being at a resort is amazing. I love resort locations. Those to me are a lot fun. You know, they're a lot of fun. They're I don't know what's the right way how to say it, because there is something to the Chicago, the New York, the Orlando show. You know, there's something to that, right? Mm-hmm. but man, it just keeps going forever. Like it just never ends because it's so massive. It's just such a massive scale, show. But when you have them at these resorts and when you have them at these specialized destinations, there's such a unique feel and such a specialized feel to these shows. It's I hate saying classier, but I don't know how else to say it because it really is such a well done, well presented, experience, right? And then, so is the main stage on the vendor floor, or is the main stage off somewhere else, like in a
Yeah, the
different location?
technical, I should have said that, sorry. Yeah, the technical stage where you guys will be and stuff is right on the vendor floor, which is nice because then whenever you guys are presenting, you can just say, just stop down at my booth down there because I know myself and so many other people, when we see stuff like that, we do want to purchase it because that is something that we want to be able to bring back to our salons and get something that's new. For continuously keeping the same items, I mean, how do we not get bored? How do our clients not get bored? I mean, I think we really need to switch it up. That's why I personally love going to New York and Chicago and everywhere else because, and these type of shows because you get to see new things. I love my reps. I love ordering from them, and I will continue to always to order from them. However, it's really nice when you see things that are just not always in where you can get it. Shop for different things. I mean, I've never purchased your hair extensions yet, but I can tell you, I just got your package right now that gives you a free sample of it because I'm excited to learn that and then bring it to my customers. So I love the fact that we can all do this as vendors and see different things and items.
It really is important to do that. It really, really is because that's exactly how you're saying. It's how we stay on top of all the trends, especially with all the social media that's happening right now. It used to be, you'd wait for the monthly magazine and then that's how you would learn about the trend. But now with social media, every week there's a different look, there's a different name, there's a different style. And it's awesome in such a way that there's so many more options to get your hair done. And then in another way, it's kind of scary because there are so many options and so many different ways to get your hair done now. So being able to stay on top of it, it's amazing. And that's the importance of having these kind of shows is it just brings so many different vendors, so many different people together from across the country to your specific area. So then this way it gives you the opportunity to be able to see a little bit of everything from everywhere. And then you could bring that piece of the pie back to the salon. It's fantastic because now when a client says, "Hey, I saw this on whatever platform they were watching it on," you could say, "You know what? I was just at a show this weekend. I know that guy that showed that. I saw this madam that created that look," and it's absolutely fantastic. So then all right, so then that's the technical stage. So then the business stage is also on the main floor on the other side, or is that in a different section?
It's in a different section. Yeah.
That's
I mean,
in
you
a
walk
different
through the
section.
vendor
Okay.
area. Yeah, you walk through the vendor area and then there's the business. So we definitely have signage to say where everything is. And then we also have people that are going to be taking you there if you can't find something. I'm a big advocate of, like in the salon, making sure you're not pointing, there's the bathroom, having good customer service. Now, granted, we won't have that in every area of the hair show, but I don't know. I hate when people point. Have someone.
Yeah. Just keep going that way.
Yeah.
I got a buddy of mine. Whenever we go to a dinner, he always says, "Hey, do you know where the washroom is?" I'm like, "Yeah, it's towards the end to the left." Like I never been here. It's our first time here. How you? I just magically know where everywhere is. Yeah. All right. So then, for the business classes, so this is interesting to me. Is it what kind of business class offerings is there going to be? Because business could be, it's such a big category. And I don't think a lot of people appreciate or understand how much is involved inside of our industry outside of, like, beyond just doing your clients in the salon.
Right. So I'm going to look at this one right now. So we have people like Nikki Lee on main stage, Lauren Garten, Gino Stampora, which is amazing. So talking, Nikki, there. I'm just looking at a different camera. Okay, so Nikki Lee is talking about thriving through modern evolutions because you're saying, yes, things change and evolve all the time. When's the last time that we actually really learned how the salon is evolving? And so she's going to be going over that.
Mm.
Paul DeGrigley on the main stage for business is talking about leadership. So how can you be a strong leader? And there are so many educators speaking about this, and I don't think it's sinking in enough. And I don't mean that disrespectful. I mean that like we need to really absorb that, because we are losing stylists all the time. And and not in just in our industry. There's everybody says like, where are these people going? They're not getting. I don't know either where anybody's going.
No,
We
you want
need
to
to.
hear a really sad statistic? I was talking to Bernard
Yeah.
about this.
Okay.
It used to be within 5 years of like, so a young stylist graduating from beauty school, within 5 years, that was like the make or break point. You're either making it in the industry or you drop out of the industry and you go well, you used to go become a nurse because I don't know,
Yeah.
that's what the natural progression was for some
Yeah.
stupid reason. Uh, but so now, unfortunately, now it's about 2 to 3 years is the break point.
Is it really? Wow.
That is, so you're saying almost a 50% increase in the drop rates in our industry. And then now nursing is struggling as well. So if you don't have that weird exit strategy to go to, if that's not your backup plan or your fallback plan or however you say it, you're right, where is everybody going? Are you just becoming unemployed and that's your life now? You have nothing to do, you just exist? It's sad. It's really, really sad. And some of that is the leadership starting from schools. Some of that is the leadership starting from the salon, ending up in the right place with the right team, with the right environment to be able to attract the right kind of customers. Because I don't think people realize we attract, you end up building the clientele that you build that attracts to your kind of personality. And that's the personality that you're putting out there. So like when you're behind the chair, you could be anything you want to be. You don't have to be yourself. You could be your work personality, and then you could be your, just like Hollywood actors, right? They are who they are on screen, and then they are who they are off screen. So I'm very outgoing on screen, at work, in public. At home, I sit in my corner and I don't want to talk to nobody. I'm just sitting there rocking back and forth, making, regretting life choices.
Oh my I can't wait to meet you in person at this show.
But it's like, but that's so leadership is, and I know I'm droning on about leadership, but it really, that hits, like you said, the evolution of styles and trends is a really major thing that stylists are struggling to keep up with. And then because they're struggling to keep up with that, we go dark really fast. And I don't know, anybody that's struggling with anything mental is sad. I just think hairdressers were so creative that even when we go dark, we creatively come up with some really messed up, deep crap to get ourselves into,
Oh my goodness, yes.
So yeah, no, that's awesome that he's talking about leadership. What other what other kind of classes? I'm so excited. I'm gonna tell Bernard I'm actually gonna attend. I'm not going on stage anymore. I'm just gonna sit in the crowd myself.
I know. I said the same thing. I said I want to go in this class, in this class, in this class. What do I do? Because I know I'm going to be working. And there's a lot of leadership business ones. And again, it doesn't mean just the leader of the business. Yes, that is solely. I mean, not solely, but that is really a lot of this. But you can also think of it as you behind the chair, being a leader to your guest as well. But Inspiring Champions is doing Lead Like a Champion because, again, if you hear, there's a lot of people doing a different portion of leadership because that is one of the most important things for our salon industry, I think, in today's age, because people are salons are no longer interviewing the potential new employees, I think. I think it's more the employees are interviewing the salons because they want a good place to be in. And I think we have to be able to offer them a lot more than what we used to in the past, So there's a lot about leadership. And, is the salon providing education? Or are they doing compensation packages? Are they doing this or that? Or are you like, well, here's your hourly wage and you got to make this to make this, or whatever. There has to be in this day and age, and they're going to be talking about that. Whether we want to hear it or not, or jump on board or not, we need to at least know what's out there because we need to know what the other salons are going to be able to give these people. There's also Terry Cohen, she is, I don't know if any of you guys, if you know her personally, but she is incredible. She has a very, very large company that teaches, or I'm sorry, she has a company that teaches very large salons too. And she does, don't go to work in your business, go to work on your business. And I know I struggled for that for years. And I know many salon owners I know struggle for that because we're working behind the chair as doing all of our clients, and then we're trying to run business too. It doesn't necessarily work that way. I mean, yes, you could still do clients, but you have to set aside time to, hire someone or delegate someone, and then you have to be able to do multiple things as an owner, not just your clients. Learn how to bring your team up so that they can do more clients and you can have time for other things. So she's going to be talking a lot about that. There's quite a few different ones on here. In the technical ones, well, let's talk about Gino just for a quick minute.
Yeah, you really like Gino.
Gino, I gotta mention something with his because just real quickly, he used to be at this show and was one of the biggest people at the Seven Spring show. So people had, whenever I mentioned, if you were at the show, do you remember Gino Stampor? They're like, oh my God, yes, is he still coming? And I'm like, yes. And as a young person in 10th grade, when I went to my first beauty show, I'm like, I'm going to go to a show. I don't know, school. It gets me out of school. It's going to be fun. And then that was the one class that my teacher said, make sure you get into his room. Because I think he's very educational. He's not a comedian, but he is for our industry. Like, you just enjoy sitting in his class. So he's definitely going to be having, I think he has 3 classes actually on Tuesday. He won't be there Monday for anybody that's attending Monday. He actually has to be there Tuesday. And then
It's really powerful. That's really, really powerful when you have such an iconic speaker, or an iconic staple at the show that their name is synonymous with the show, right? That is super cool. That is super, super cool. We've had a couple of those in our industry. I remember growing up, oh, okay. Any stylists watching this, do you remember the Alteri brothers? Have you heard of the Alteri brothers?
Terry Brothers, no, but there was another. I'm thinking the Matrix Brothers. Okay.
So yeah, it's literally when they came. The craziest time that happened at a hair show was when they took on to main stage. When I tell you, it was like a Black Friday sale, and all the crowd is like lined up at the door, and they open the door, and everybody rushes in because there's only 20 items available. Everybody started storming towards the main stage. Like, the entire show floor just emptied out because everybody went towards the main stage. So it is super cool when you have, when you have a speaker, when you have a special guest speaker that's so synonymous with the show that is that exciting to go to see. That's awesome. That's super, super cool. I'm so happy to hear that Gino is synonymous with the Pennsylvania show, Beauty Expo. I got to learn how to say it the right way.
You know what? Next time we do this, we're changing the name actually. But we were trying to figure out what can we say that people know that it's in Pennsylvania and it's professionals, and we just like, okay, let's go, let's run with it. We got to get going. Yeah, we're going to shorten the name next time around. So we're not sure if it's going to be every year or every other year, but we just know that this one's really important for people to get to, because if you missed it in Pennsylvania and you missed having shows in the region, and when I say Pennsylvania, I'm also talking about West Virginia, Maryland, Ohio, anybody in that western region.
Oh, you draw from that big of an area.
Yeah, we're on the tip there. So Ohio's really close, West Virginia's really close, parts of Ohio and Maryland, which is awesome because we're definitely getting ticket sales from every part of that area. So if you are, sometimes it's even closer in that state than going to a show that's already in their state, because we're right on that bottom. Excuse me. Of course, now my dog's going to start barking. But yes, there is. It's. I don't want to say it's everybody's responsibility, because it's not. I took on this responsibility. I get that. But if you're a salon owner or someone in this region, beauty professional in any way, even if you can't attend this show, we ask that you please share it, because we want this to continue. And so if not everybody supports it, it's going to go away. Just like, the malls in areas. Well, they should do this. They should do this. They should do this. Who's they? You know what? We all need to take responsibility. If a store closes, if a restaurant closes, if a mall closes, if there's not education, it has to be everybody instead of the finger pointing of everybody else's fault. So we just really need to help support all hair shows.
No, that is great. You're doing a great job. Every time I hear your name come up in a conversation, there's just everybody's like, man, you have been fantastic. So you've really been spearheading this thing, and it's been awesome. So we really do appreciate you, putting in the effort that you have been putting in. It really blows my mind when you go to schedule an event that everybody's been requesting, and then you go back and say, hey, look, I put this event on that you've been requesting. They're like, oh, I'm busy. I'm like, what?
No.
So no, we'll definitely.
I think the one thing, and I'm not a negative person either. Like you'll find positive about anything. But if I could say one thing on that, I've heard someone say, "Well, oh my gosh, it's on a Tuesday. Oh my, are you serious? It's on a Tuesday?" And they like freak out. I thought it's Sunday and Monday. Well, just because it always was on a Sunday and Monday back in 1994 doesn't mean there's classes. Like I go to Tony Robbins conventions all the time, and they're 5 days, 12 hours long. I mean, what are you putting into your education? You can't take off one day of the week in the whole year to go to a show that's $79 for 2 days. I mean, you're spending $40 out of that $40 for that Tuesday that you're going to take off. Yes, you might lose $300, $400 or whatever. But I can guarantee you by sitting in these classrooms, you're going to triple that if you take this time to watch from these educators and just take some of these things home. So who cares if it's on a Tuesday? Who cares if it's on a Sunday? Who cares if it's on a Saturday? Like, just get there.
Being profitable is investing into your own future, right? And are you maintaining your business or are you growing your business? Like you mentioned earlier, one of the programs, are you working in your business or are you working on your business? It really makes a huge difference. And you really need to take the time and take the effort to invest in that strategy to make sure that you are doing the proper things to make sure that you remain profitable. So that is absolutely amazing. And
I just wrote that down. I love this. Are you maintaining your business or growing your business? That is, I'm doing a Facebook thing about that today.
No, seriously, please do, because I do. Okay. So I represent a distributorship, HTB Beauty, out of Illinois. Here's the bling. And I represent 5 different brands. So the education that I provide is across all kinds of styling, all kinds of hairdressing, whether it's hair color, whether it's keratin smoothing treatments, styling, blow dry styling, hair cutting, business mentorship. I do a lot of, individual mentoring as well. Hair extensions, certifications for hair extensions primarily. I am so busy individually that I teach Sunday through Friday. It is insane that I am consistently busy 6 days a week in doing education. Now, some of that, like Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, is group education, and then the other half of Tuesday and then Wednesday and Thursday and Friday is individual mentoring education. But the fact of the matter remains is I am constantly doing that because too many people, they're like, oh, I'm rocking right now. I'm busy. I don't have time. No, you're just maintaining what you have. Those people are going to get older. They're going to move away. They're going to go somewhere else. Something is going to happen. So you're only maintaining what you have. You're not necessarily growing what you have. When's the last time you had a new client? When's the last time you did a new service on a existing client? When is the last time you did anything, to expand? So yeah, maintaining versus growing is huge. It's so important. So I love that you have the technical stages, to be able to give us the opportunity to show the stylists in your area that, look, you've been doing, for example, for us, you've been doing hair extensions this way for this long, and it's awesome, and it's working for you. Could I show you this? And could this technique potentially improve what you're currently doing or show you something completely new that you can add on? We're not asking anybody to replace, well, I guess it would be nice if you just replace what you're doing with us. But at a minimum, could this be another tool that you can use for clientele? Because just because you know one technique, is that going to work for every single client? Every single one of your clients has the same hair? Nobody has thin, fine hair that needs thickness. Nobody has normal density hair that needs, length and fullness. Nobody has already thick hair that just wants, different color options. Did you even know hair extensions could be for, coloring options instead of just equaling length and thickness? So all of the above. And whether it's a color technique, a haircut technique, a style technique, it is so important to have these technical stages. It is absolutely phenomenal. I'm so happy. I'm so happy. So then where do people go to sign up for the show? Because we could put a link in the description.
Awesome. So you can go to salontraining.com. It's our website. Go to the homepage. It's just much quicker, faster. You have to see
Okay.
it. Stay on the homepage. Scroll down just slightly underneath our name, and you'll see join us at the Pennsylvania Beauty Show. And then once you do, it says get tickets. Just go get tickets. And if you have a team of 11 or more, it will tell you to go somewhere else. And that's just so that you don't have to sit there and do a whole bunch of different things whenever you're filling out 11. We have some people that are bringing 90 to 100 people in their groups or whatever, and some salons that are bringing 40, So instead of you having to do that, plus it saves you the Eventbrite fee if you have over Eventbrite. It's like $5, which everybody has to pay those fees right now. So for that, but if you come to the site and do 11 or more, you can bypass that fee.
Okay. All right. So salontraining.com. It's the main website that everybody's used to coming to anyways. Oh, so that's so much simpler. That's so simplified. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So then you said through April, there's a special pricing through April.
Yeah, so we extended that for everybody, and we just did that yesterday. Don't quote me on this, but I believe it is going to end April 1st. So the entire month of March, we're going to go ahead and honor those 79.
Okay.
Why tickets are available, because once the tickets are sold out, obviously we're just going to take down the site and everything. So there was a couple people panicking yesterday in a short, like an hour time while we were switching something over, and they're like texting and calling, and they're like, I can't get tickets, or they sold out. And I was like, you waited till the last minute. No, it's okay. We all wait till the last minute. We procrastinate, I know. But some people are just hearing about it too. There's companies that have very large, massive shows that have done it for a long time, and I still don't hear about those shows until a couple weeks ahead of time. So that's one of the things that Salon Training wants to do, is we want to put all the shows on there for the entire year. Now, they're not on there yet, but we're talking with Premiere, we're talking to a bunch of different people so that we can get their shows on here, so that you can find one place to find all the shows, whether it's ours or somebody else's. So
that's awesome. So then Monday, April 24th, and Tuesday, April 25th.
Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
All right, cool. Is there anything else that I forgot to ask about?
No.
Or is there anything else that you want to mention about?
Well, you know what? Just if people want to join our Facebook community, which would be great, it is also Salon Training, all one word, salontraining.com. And just do the group, not the page. And the reason that we're asking to do that is in the group, we're going to be starting to give away prizes at the end of this month leading up to the show, and started, having different speakers come on and say, hey, what their class is about and all kinds of stuff.
Very fun. Very, very fun. All right. And then the Facebook group is a public group, or it's a private group?
Public.
Public group.
We just ask, of course, that you are in the beauty industry, and occasionally we'll go through and just check someone's name, and if we don't see it, we'll message them and say, hey, are you in the industry? And if so, because we really want this to be just for professionals.
Sure, fair enough. But it's easy to find, so that's awesome. All right, cool. Thank you so much for coming on with us today and doing this and helping us to learn about the show, giving you the opportunity to promote the show. I can't wait to hang out with you in April and meet you in person in April. It's going to be fun. It's going to be so much fun. Awesome. All right. Any question? Oh, yeah. So if anybody has any questions and they need to contact you, do they go to salontraining.com and there's a contact thing on there? How do they do that?
You could. It's in the footer. However, I'll just tell you, if we could put our phone number in there somewhere, that would be even better. I prefer text messaging. If you email me, I tell this to everybody, if you email me, sometimes I see it, sometimes I don't, because by the time I wake up in the morning, there's almost 200 emails in there, and I'm like, oh, God, and then it's the next day, and then it's the next day, and then I have to try to find it. Just text me, simple text, to 814-248-8928, and I know people probably don't have a pen with them right now, but if we could put it in the comments, that'd be awesome. Just text.
You got it. You got it. Tracey, thank you so much. Everybody, thank you so much for watching. Let us know in the comments. Say Gino's name real quick.
Oh, Gina Stampora.
Gino Sampora. Do you remember Gino? Have you seen Gino before? You know, are you excited to see him again? And what show have you been to, and who was the name stylist at that show? Like, who was the staple presenter for that show that you remember, you know, synonymously? Let us know in the comment section. We'll catch